thought I'd come back on again, and I thought I'd talk about the third book, because I had a conversation just after I did that video, saying to me that you'd only talked about the first two books. So I thought I'd come along and talk about the third book, which is The Soul's Love, which is quite appropriate with my dog giving me lots of love in the background. Anyway, so I just thought I'd talk to you about affairs, relationships that don't always work out, and you blame yourself. You think, well, did nothing wrong. Why did they leave me? Why did they have an affair? Wasn't I good enough? And you start beating yourself up, and you go down a very dark path, and you start spiraling. So if you feel that way, like automatically you blame yourself, you blame, is it something to do with me? What was wrong with me? Wasn't I good enough? All of those kind of self-doubting, self-sabotage tapes that we play in our heads constantly. So I thought, because of that, I thought I'd come along and I'd talk more about the soul's love. The soul's love is very much about explaining to you why that person had an affair, why that person betrayed you, why that person left you for somebody else. And it helps you get through the self-blame, the self-doubt, the self-issues, all those tapes we play, like I've said before. And it just helps you through, and it supports you. And another topic that comes up, which is quite prominent for men, is impotence. Impotence is an issue that men have, then obviously that would make them feel less of a man, not so important, very sort of self-sabotage in this society. You have to be the man, you have to be strong, you have to provide, you have so much pressure on them that it ends up coming out in perhaps impotence. And impotence can cause them to feel embarrassed, shame, and also put a lot of strain on the relationship. And they're probably wondering why this has happened. So in this lovely The Soul's Love, it explains impotence to people. And it helps them kind of see it from a different perspective, rather than a failure and beating themselves up. You can come from a perspective of love and understanding and support, and actually explain to them why they're going through that, and perhaps help them through it. And another one it does as well is, I know some people have lost a partner. A lot of people out there have lost a partner and think, how am I going to cope? How am I going to be okay on my own? Oh my goodness, I'm bringing up the children alone. It could be a man or it could be a woman. And of course, you're going to be feeling very lonely and isolated. Well, in this book, I don't know if you've ever heard, there's such thing called interdimensional parenting, where the other parent comes through the spirit world and helps you and supports you to guide you to help look after the children. So you can become connected spiritually through the quantum field and actually connect with the loved one, and they can help you still bring up that child, even though they're past. And it's in this book, The Soul's Love, that you can actually do that, have interdimensional parenting. You can actually connect with that particular parent, and you can actually work together through spirit, through messages, and work together to still bring them up, so you're not quite as alone as you thought you were. And also there's another one as well. Another topic is when people are single. Some people actually like being single, even though society says you must have a partner, you must be in a relationship. But not everybody wants to be in a relationship. Some people feel they are enough. And when they feel they're enough, they should be allowed to feel enough. And also that's some people's soul's plan, to be on their own. And this book supports that, and it explains to you why it's okay to be on your own and why it's okay to be single. And then there's another relationship that a lot of people have. Some people can be in a relationship and they decide not to have sex. They decide to be celibate. They decide to just simply be together as company for each other and learn and grow and enjoy relationship in a different way than society expects. Because some people don't always want to have sex. They just want to be connected in a very spiritual way. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that guides you through that as well, and teaches you why people wanted to just be together without the sex. As I think society puts a lot of pressure on people to think, well, if our sex lives died, then they're obviously going to leave me. I'm going to leave them. But actually, there is actually people out there who just get on, really get on, and don't require sex at all. And that's all fine. And I think that The Soul's Love, it reinforces that feeling that is fine, and it explains to people why that actually it's okay. And then and so basically that's the book. The book is basically explaining to you to be very much more compassionate and loving to yourself in whatever relationship you're in. An ordinary happily-go-lucky relationship with all those wonderful things going on beautifully is fine too. But this is just about people who are questioning anything to do with love and relationships and self-doubting and going around in their head with beating themselves up and thinking, why can't I be in a relationship? Why am I impotent? All of these feelings. So I thought I'd just come along again with book 3, and I thought I'd give you a bit more of a detail on that book, because I feel that I hadn't in the first video. Anyway, please feel free to subscribe. as usual, ask any questions you like. I'm always here. Anyway, thank you for listening and take care. Till next time. Bye.